Are the people you are surrounding yourself with trying to put your fire out by throwing water on it? If that's what's happening, then it's time to find another group of people to be with because those aren't friends. Even if they're family, give yourself permission to limit the amount of time you spend with them. Think about how you feel after you've been with them. Do you feel lighter and more joyful? Or is there a pit in your gut? Your soul always knows. Being in a relationship with a narcissist was difficult. Getting out of the relationship will take every ounce of strength you can muster, too. Mindset is everything. 90% of winning begins before you even walk into the room. If you don't believe you can win, no one can help you. You don't need a good lawyer, a good book, good facts, nothing. None of that will help you if you don't believe you can win. You must believe it first. Only then will everything else line up for you. There will be times when it will get hard to continue to believe. Chapter 5, S, Strategy. A strong foundation equals breakthrough results. If you're going through hell, keep going. Winston Churchill. The first step, the S in slay. First, you create your vision. This provides direction when you aren't sure what path to take or what decisions to make. Your vision then informs the framework for your action plan. The action plan is where you create the steps you will take toward your vision. Between your vision and your action plan, you are creating a solution to your problem. Just start doing it. Even if you don't feel ready or like you have all the tools in your pocket yet, once you have your vision and your action plan, the cool thing about it is that it's right in front of you, and all you have to do is start moving on it. Just start executing it. The only difference between people who are successful and people who are not is one word: execution. Just start. You can do this. You will say, very naively, something to the effect of, I only want what's fair, and I don't want to fight. But you will actually mean it. The narcissist will absolutely say something like that too. To your face. You will believe them. But it will be a bald-faced, down and dirty, hairy, massive lie. Remember, narcissists fight dirty. They are street fighters. Remember when I said if this were an actual physical fight, they would be pulling your hair, biting your ear, and kicking you in the groin, all while you are saying you don't want to fight? Whether it's a business, probate, or divorce negotiation, the rules for negotiation in regular situations just aren't necessarily the same here. But there are some very critical parts to dealing with narcissists that are just quite bluntly not universal. You may think, also very naively, that by being generous up front, you will somehow garner favor, that the narcissist will see how reasonable you're being and respond to that accordingly by also being reasonable. They will not. The narcissist may try to discredit your lawyer right away. They do this to drive a wedge between you and the new person who might have control over you, as they want to be the one who maintains control over you. Here are some of the things they might say. Your lawyer just wants your money. You don't need a lawyer. We can do this ourselves. You don't need a separate lawyer. I already have one, and we can use the same one. This is not true. Lawyers can only represent one person at a time. Your lawyer has too many cases. Your lawyer is lying to you about me or what I said. I'm telling you the truth. Now, here's what I want to say to you. I have had to have this talk with some of my clients also. You know the narcissist is a liar. You tell everyone you know that the narcissist is a liar. Why on God's earth would they be telling you the truth about this particular thing? Especially when they know that this person is being brought in to help you to potentially work against them. Yet the narcissist is often so swift and cunning at love bombing, they can lure their targets right back where they want them to be during this phase. Let me tell you guys, you are in the discard phase here. You are public enemy number one. Unless you're planning to stay in a relationship with this person, which we already determined is highly not recommended, like if surgeon generals could issue warnings about them being a serious risk to your health, they should, then you cannot believe anything they say. Newsflash, everything they do is manipulation. If they apologize, it is a manipulation. If they say they will change, manipulation. If they say they want to resolve the issues amicably. Once the narcissist realizes that you aren't buying into their do everything my way and give me everything games, and, oh, by the way, it still won't be over even after that, then it will be game on. Watch the mask whip off, attorney. I do have websites for finding attorneys within the program. Much more on my website at www.slaythebully.com/resources. Once the narcissist realizes that you aren't buying into their do everything my way and give me everything games, and, oh, by the way, it still won't be over even after that, then it will be game on. Watch the mask whip off. You'd better be on the defensive and vigilant all of the time. The narcissist's injury will have been triggered, causing the narcissistic rage to come flying out. They feel threatened, and you are potentially taking away one of their major supply sources, you. And they are not happy about giving up a source of supply. Your head is not clear. You are likely depleted mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You feel like you have done nothing but defend yourself, sometimes for years. You may have CPTSD. You have felt like you've been beat up for so long that you're just completely and utterly depleted. The narcissist has no interest in coming to a resolution at all because they are enjoying the process of making the other person miserable because they get narcissistic supply from it. Initially creating strategy, including your own vision, may feel foreign to you because you may feel like you've been a turtle on your back for so long, meaning that you've been defending yourself constantly. And so it hasn't occurred to you to even think about what it is that you actually want. But if you don't figure out what you want and where you're going, then you can't get there. Once you realize that you can create a vision, then see it actually come to fruition before your eyes, that's when your life truly transforms. I started to become paranoid, wondering what she was going to do next, lie about next, say next. I became obsessed. Those old feelings of being bullied as a child were being triggered. I found myself saying nothing many times and allowing her to get away with a lot of it. I wasn't sure what to say or how to approach it. It was a very different situation than when I was dealing with people as their attorney. Standing up for others, that I could do all day long. But when it came time to stand up for myself, once again, I found myself without a voice. It was during this time that my family and I went on an amazing dream vacation to Maui, Hawaii. One of the excursions that you can do there is get up at crazy o'clock in the morning and drive up the mountain of Haleakala to see the sunrise. When one of our friends suggested we do this, I thought they were nuts. You literally get up at like 2:30 a.m., then drive from where it is 85 degrees to a few hours up the mountain to watch the sunrise, where it is like 40 degrees. I am a person who hates to get up that early and hates cold weather. But I'm telling you, this is something you must add to your bucket list if you have never done it. The sunrise is spectacular. It is literally heaven on earth. I was there with my husband and my youngest daughter, people whom I love. The sunrise was stunning to behold. A Hawaiian man began to chant to revere the sun as it was coming up. Even my daughter, who was 17 at the time, leaned forward to me and whispered, "Mom, it's heaven on earth." "Yes, yes, it is," I responded. "Ah," I should have been thinking, "I'm on vacation. I'm with the people I love the most." It should have been a moment of pure bliss. But I wasn't thinking of that moment of bliss. What was I thinking of at that moment? Yup, you guessed it, the narcissist. And then it hit me. I suddenly thought, no, 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 you don't get to be here. It's one thing to obsess about toxic things or people when I'm working or walking around and living my regular life. But on my vacation in heaven on earth? Oh no, this was not okay. At that moment, something shifted for me. The person who went up that mountain was not the person who went down that mountain because I made a decision. I was allowing myself to be a victim. I was not using my life to be a creator. I realized I was not being a victor. I decided to create a vision. I decided that rather than focusing on a relationship that wasn't serving me, I would do something that would use my gifts. I decided to finish the negotiation book I had already started months before. I went back home and created a plan. When they have been dealing with a narcissist for so long, a lot of times they've just been in defense mode. It hasn't even occurred to them to think about what they want. Remember, the purpose of your vision is to give you direction when you're not certain what decisions to make while the negotiations are actively going or when you have to communicate with the narcissist. It is where you'll be channeling all your choices to give them context. This will become the filter and lens through which everything will flow. Remember that negative thoughts will never lead to a positive life. It is very critical here that you determine what is most important to you and that it's not anything that has to do with the narcissist. What I mean by that is, for example, exacting revenge on the narcissist is not a sound vision. What we are working toward for you is an outcome that is positive for your life and for the future that you are creating and living. Having a vision that is based in revenge will not serve you in the long run. Once you put your energy and power into your vision, nothing can stop you. But you truly must believe in it. You must know why you want to achieve your outcomes. You have to feel them with all your might and with every single cell in your body. This is where the magic really starts to happen for you. If you don't, then when the narcissist comes along and gets you rattled, you will be shaken and want to give up. You will forget what it is that you are doing. You may be taken back in by what the narcissist says once again, or be pressured to do things you don't want to do in the negotiations. But if you believe in your heart and soul that you will be able to achieve the vision that you have created, once you have set that intention, nothing can stop you. Step 1, don't run. This is where you stop the conditioning, stop yourself from retreating, and stop walking backwards. This is where you will draw boundaries and start to do some things that might feel uncomfortable. Small changes, small shifts, but very, very important. Your action plan must have thought everything through from the beginning of the process to the end, and you will reassess it as you move through it, making sure that the actions in the plan are still adhering to your vision statements and getting you to the outcomes you want to achieve. You want to be able to get there as quickly and as efficiently as possible, but also with the understanding that you will have to have patience. Your action plan must be narcissist-proof. If there is a weak spot, you can bet the narcissist will find it. It is a bit of a long game. It will not happen overnight. The other thing you will have to have is fortitude. You want to be sure you never give in and never give up. And the narcissist will give you lots of reasons to want to. Remember, they are like a 2-year-old having a tantrum. If mom and dad haven't given in yet, then they just cry louder and longer. They think, if I am annoying enough, they'll have to give in. That's exactly what's going on with the narcissist. I will let you in on another little secret. They are the absolute worst right before they are ready to give up. Thus, when you make shifts in the relationship, they may start acting like that toddler having a tantrum, depending upon the relationship and depending upon how much they think it will trigger you. The first thing you can do to stop the retreat is to start to create boundaries. Boundaries will be tremendously important for you because this is the only way that you are going to start letting the narcissist know that you are shifting. It also allows you room to start to breathe and begin to heal, especially if you've been in any kind of longer term relationship with the narcissist. Whether it is capturing video evidence, documenting emails, text threads, or lack of promise correspondence, or gathering proof of assets, documentation will become your protection against the narcissist in your life. Keeping track of everything will help to catch the narcissist amid their lies and schemes and provide real evidence against them. The documentation is your protection, and the leverage is your ammo. It's all about getting the narcissist to settle on your terms in a way that makes them believe they are doing things on their terms. It's when you analyze the data that you collect that you start to see where you can create summaries of the information, then attach the raw data as supporting documentation to the summaries. This is what becomes tremendous and bulletproof leverage. We know that all narcissists lie, right? Constantly. They can't help themselves. What they don't count on is that anyone will ever take the time to put together a summary of their lies and inconsistent statements. Research the other side. This is the part where you anticipate what the narcissist is going to do and say and be 2 steps ahead of them. Another part of this step, which is less obvious, is that you must do the other person's research. This means finding all the data, facts, figures, and information that the other person would dig up if he or she were doing the same sort of thorough research that you will be doing. Stand in the narcissist's shoes. Stand in the shoes of their lawyer. Now, your circumstances may be such that you may already know the narcissist pretty well and how they think. Remember that whatever position you take, they are going to say it's wrong, it's faulty, that you're going to lose, that you're full of crap. You'll have to wear your Wonder Woman bracelets and push out your Superman chest and just deflect, deflect, deflect as you keep moving forward. But as you do that, also understand what they're thinking so you can anticipate what they will argue. Again, you are looking for discrepancies. Have they lied? Are there inconsistencies? Is there something that can expose them? Is there something they wouldn't want another supply source to know? Always be thinking about your documentation strategically. Mr. CEO was controlling at home, but she was used to that. Yes, he called all the shots, didn't allow her to touch the finances, and could be emotionally abusive at times. But wasn't that how men were? She just wanted to live her life and not disturb the peace, especially at this stage in her life. Except what she didn't know was that Mr. CEO had dirty little secrets. Mr. CEO had a sex addiction. Mr. CEO may have had all the power in the boardroom and probably even at home, but like magic, with leverage, everything's shifted. He became the one with seemingly no power at all because his wife knew his dirty little secret, and he definitely did not want anyone else to find out about his hobby. This leverage becomes your ammo against the narcissist. It's like the invisible magic bullet. This leverage is what the narcissist will never see coming. That's because it is packaged in a way that is so appealing to their own desires. But how do you get leverage? First, you have to know what the other side wants. Consider what is driving them. What emotional investment do they have in the situation? What is incentivizing them? While narcissists are by far the most difficult personality on the planet, they are also the most predictable personality on the planet. Remember what I told you in Chapter 2. Narcissists are driven by one thing and one thing only: narcissistic supply. Knowing this is the key to the kingdom. By understanding narcissistic supply and why they need it, you create your invincible leverage. You must think outside the box here a bit. Leverage could be who wants the settlement faster. This could be a motivator at times for narcissists, especially if they are dying to get on with their new forms of supply.